So we got a Honda 750 here, CB, which has been full cafe raced, absolutely gorgeous. Liking that a lot. Very short.
It's the most tremendous new musical experience you can have.
There's a Bullet 500 from the local dealership. I originally had one of these as my first bike. It brings back loads of memories, but they still look great, even within EFI. Great piece of kit. I like that a lot. Big up to the Bullets. Okay then everybody, let's make our way home. Kicking myself because I've already filmed this once. Had a nice little introduction as I arrived this evening off the motorway. Didn't have the GoPro running. Always useful to turn your GoPro on, everybody. But hey, never mind, we're here now. It's the Caffeine Racer, and it's time for another bike vlog. So the Royal Enfields are here in force with GV Bikes of Taunton. They've got their Enfields here. Little stand over there with some Interceptors, Himalayas, and of course Continental GTs as well. Good night. Thank you. We're in the cider country, and this is Sheppy's cider farm with the orchards, as you can see to the left and right of me. This lady's stopping traffic in her high vis. Sheppy Fest. 2 seconds, she says. Not a problem. Thank you. Good night. Look at this weather. As I said, I've already recorded it once, but I'm going to do it again, just because I didn't record any of it. But a great bike meet, loads of bikes, absolutely tons and tons of bikes. I think I'm going to go back roadway, just because I can. Let's go. Thanks Sheppy, that was awesome. Really enjoyed that. Some good cider to be had there. Somerset, beautiful county. Okay, we've got great cider. Apparently, I'm not really a drinker. Mine was low alcohol. But hey, still put me in the mood with a taste of Somerset on this gorgeous summer's day. It's been very hot here today, about 28 degrees. Some parts of the UK seeing even more than that. One of the hottest days of the year. So the motor vlogging side of things, I'm going to try and do some bits and bobs while I'm out on the bike. As I said, just as B-roll, and give you guys a little taste of what it's like living with a Continental GT in the area that I live. I know some of you have been watching these videos from other countries. Some friends in India have been enjoying it. Hello there. I wanted to see more of what the countryside here has to offer. So I'm going to do that for you, see how we get on. So as I said earlier, I have adjusted the camera so that it's got a wider angle on it. Hopefully you're getting a better view, and maybe you can see the controls and the speedo as well. It means I'm going to have to watch my speed like a little hawk, but hey, it's all good. On a night like tonight, who needs to go fast, hey? So I am looking forward to the weekend. Me and the lovely wife are going to be going off on the Continental GT, and we're going to take a trip, not a particularly long one, into a couple hours riding, and we're going to go camping for an evening. And this will be the first time that we've loaded up the GT with camping gear and luggage, etc. It'll be a real test of if this bike is really as versatile as I think it is. Also for me, it's going to be quite exciting because I haven't done a lot of long distance riding, and it'll be nice to get away with the lovely wife and just enjoy some time together on the bike, see some places that we haven't seen before. And the good thing with a bike is you just kind of have that access that you don't get in a car, the freedom to just pick up and go and park in places that other people can't. So it should be an interesting journey. And I think tonight we are going to take a little scenic route over the hills to get back to where I live in sunny Bridgewater. Hello mate, what are you doing? But first we're going to take a cut through Taunton, see what's going on as we pass through. Certainly had a very comfortable ride over on the motorway GT. As I said, it did 70 miles an hour, quite happily at 4,500 RPM with no real effort. It was very, very comfortable, and still had power required to overtake. Not very much vibration either. I was quite impressed with how it settled down on the motorway. Good evening, chappies. My old beans. Oh, thanks, Mr. Combo Van. You go in here. Excellent. Right. Tally ho. And this is Taunton, county town of Somerset. College, which I attended back in the day, 18 years ago, when I had my first Royal Enfield. Half a life away, people, half a life away. Doesn't seem that long ago. And here I am now on another Royal Enfield. Thank you for waiting. Hey, that's nifty. Maybe we should get one of those. He was shifting along now on that electric scooter. Dump down 2 gears. So the GT is absolutely gorgeous for just pottering around the town. It really makes you feel like you're riding something that's really alive, even though it's a low-powered 650. It's super happy, and with the slipper assisted clutch, being able to just dump down in the middle of a corner and have a really smooth change with no locking up and no torque changes coming from the chain sprocket like now. Really smooth, makes it ever so much fun without any worry. Going to skip the centre of Taunton, and we're going to go back on the A38. So I reckon there was a good 600 bikes at that bike night tonight at Sheppey's. Really good turnout, lots of different stuff from ultra modern to classics. And here's a few of the brothers now, look, on their way home. It is nice that you get people riding all different types of stuff. And the old two-stroke, just gassing out the Harley there. Fantastic. It's been a while since I've had a Harley in the garage. Yeah, you can keep it. I like my Enfield. So Taunton's got its own Royal Enfield dealership, and it is on just off a station road here on the left. GV Bikes, very good. It's actually where I took my test ride on the Continental and was very, very happy with the bike. I took the Interceptor out as well, and although that's a red light, mate. Wow. Although the Interceptor was more comfortable to ride, the GT really stole my heart with its looks. It is a good looking bike. And let's see if Mr. Cyclist goes straight through this red light, shall we? Yeah, he did. Oh well. Karma comes to us all, people. Karma comes to us all. Nice, be kind. It's always it's going to come back round one day. Yes, the GV Bikes very kindly let me have the two bikes. Took them out for about an hour each. And although the Continental GT first of all gave me wrist ache, it was still the one I wanted. It's the Cafe Racer look that really sold me on it. And I have got used to the riding style. It does put more pressure on your wrists, especially being a shorter rider. I say I'm a shorter rider, I'm a shorter everything. But, you know, it doesn't matter. You just get used to it. And if you shift your weight in the seat every now and again, you can relieve that pressure off of your wrists and just get yourself back in a comfortable position. I've got a little throttle cruise control handle, which is a grip system. I don't know if you can see it there. So I can just rest my wrist on that if I'm on the motorway, and that just allows you to take some of the weight off while you're going at a steady speed. A few clouds starting to form now. We've had a really hot day, no clouds at all. It was very thunderous the night before with quite an impressive lightning show, and we're talking thousands of lightning flashes, you know, hundreds per minute. Went on for hours, and it's still quite close, humid here. English summers, they really can be quite changeable, but we're hoping is this going to last until the weekend, so we can do that trip on the bike. Now I will take my camera, not sure how much footage I'm going to get, because primarily I'm there for a holiday, and I don't want to be wasting too much of my time recording stuff down and trying to get good shots, but I will take some footage and I will use it so you can see where I've been going, and I'm sure there's going to be some lovely sights. Over we go. Beautiful. So with my GT, I have made some alterations to things like the suspension. I've adjusted it 2 clicks down, which actually slightly lowered the back end by maybe an inch. I was finding it wasn't quite right for me being lighter, so I had to make some kind of adjustment. I tried it on one click first, and it was slightly better. I still had a bounce going on, so I adjusted it again, and I'm happy with where it is. I may try changing some other settings and just earmark the one I'm on now to come back to, and I may have to adjust it when I go riding with pillion on the back, but we'll see how we get on. The good thing is that the toolkit that comes with the GT has the spanner for doing the suspension in the kit, and a little breaker arm, so it's easier to lever it. So they've thought that one through, and it is good quality. You know, the little tool set that they've got in there gives you everything that you need to do some quite important jobs, like even changing the oil out, the right size spanner to undo the drain bolt if you needed to, which I guess if you were over in India, you do it on the side of the road, it wouldn't you wouldn't think about it twice, would you? In the UK we're a bit lazy, I think, sometimes. I've got a classic bike, so I'm quite used to braking down and doing things on the side of the road. I don't foresee that the GT is going to have that type of problem. It's actually a much better construction than a 1970s bike, and won't struggle quite as much. And we're stuck behind a tractor. In fact, there's quite a few bikes stuck behind a tractor. So we're coming up on a dual carriageway now. There's a chance to open her up a little bit. It is going to get quite noisy, so I'm not going to be able to use the microphone for talking. But you get to see a bit of go fast, which is always good. Well, thought that car was going to cut me up then for a second, so I hung back and he didn't want to go. But as you can see, the GT will quite happily get you to the national speed limit without trying, just on that quick blast. Plenty of gears to go. Oh, look at that sky. Awesome. So I'm in 6th now and climbing quite a steep hill. Good evening, chaps. 3.5 grand and completely smooth. And I'm sure if I opened it up, we carry on climbing this hill a lot faster. It's just such a workable engine. With my last couple of bikes, I've had smaller engines, as opposed to the Harley, which was a 1200. I've been working with a 354 cylinder and a 250 twin, and they just don't have the get up and go, obviously, compared to the 650. So it's nice to be on something that's really relaxing to ride, doesn't make you tired, just trying to do small commutes. Okay, so geographically, for those that don't know, I am in Somerset in England, which is a county, and from where I live, places of interest, let's give you a couple. So Glastonbury Festival, those that have heard of Glastonbury Festival or Pilton Pop Festival, one of the biggest music festivals in the world, is about 35 minutes at 50 miles an hour from where I live, just a cruise away, and Glastonbury tour. So I will at some point be taking you there to show you the tour. You can actually see it from a lot of locations surrounding here. What else have we got? We're about 35 miles from Bristol, the city of Bristol, and about the same to Exeter as well. So we've got a motorway corridor that allows us to just jump one city to another, really, and it's really not very far. Population of the little town I'm in, well, it's got time, but I reckon you're probably 65,000, which isn't really that big these days. Quiet enough. It is expanding because we've got a nuclear power station here, Hinkley, which is one of the biggest building sites in Europe at the moment. It's going on for about 15 years while they build the new reactors. There's a lot of activity here, a lot of people coming into work, etc., which obviously makes quite a big difference to traffic and housing prices, etc. But still, yeah, great place to live. Most of Somerset, i.e. the levels, is lower than sea level, and it used to flood, hence places like Glastonbury Tor were built to stand up above that water level, and there's several different buildings that were put purposefully up on higher mounts, or mumps as they call them in Somerset, so they were out of the way of the floodwaters and kind of icons for other people to see. Let's go past this one. And off we trot. Tally ho, as I say. And now we're coming back into historic Bridgewater, home of the carnival. If you want to see what Bridgewater Carnival is like, Google it. It's a bit different to Rio de Janeiro, that's for sure. Not as many feathers for a start. Not warm. We normally have it in like late September, early November, and there's massive floats, and they're kind of pulled along by decorated tractors. No joke, covered in lights. But funny story, year before last, one of the carnival crews decided they were going to use ultraviolet lights on their cart to make everything glow, which was a great idea, except they got those ultraviolet lights from China on a bit of a deal, and maybe the description wasn't quite as accurate as they would have liked, and they bought these thousands upon thousands of UV lights, and it turned out the next day, after the carnival procession had happened, that a whole load of their staff ended up in hospital with burns and welder's eye. And basically they've been using light bulbs for tanning and not UV light bulbs to make things glow. There's a chappie on his bike. He's just been at Sheppy's. He's got some 8 hangers on that boy. We'll catch him up eventually. We're in no rush. Can't imagine that's very comfortable with your arms up like that the whole time, but never tried that position. One day maybe, one day. Man randomly waving out the window. You certainly see all sorts in Bridgewater, all sorts. Yes, the Enfield doesn't really have the potato of that Harley motor, does it? Unfortunately, I can't use a lot of the audio for the exhaust and things like that because the wind noise is just atrocious on the GoPros. It's a rather fancy paint job, isn't it? Gone are the days of the Harley, spending all your time cleaning chrome. I still got chrome, just not as much. Home stretch. So we've done 53 miles on the GT since I fueled it last, and so there's only 1 bar gone from the fuel gauge. I did top the tank right up, so it'll be interesting to see how fast the middle section of this fuel gauge goes down, because the tank's quite a funny shape. Don't really know how accurate the gauge is, if I'm honest, and I'm one of those people that tends to get caught out by low fuel. Get a bit over enthusiastic with the amount of miles I think I can do while I'm riding and end up stuck at the side of the road trying to hitch a lift to the nearest petrol station. But yeah, 53 miles and only 1 bar gone off the petrol gauge. Still very warm this evening. Nobody on the crossing. Good, good. Well, thanks for watching. I hope you've enjoyed the content today. If you have, please leave a sub. We're trying to get to 1,000 subs. If you're a fan of the Royal Enfield Interceptors or Continental GTs, stick with us for more videos, more accessories. Links will be in the description for anything that I've shown. Have a good day. Ride safe.